Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Odira Kid, the Review, back again with another video. We just got our full-length trailer for the Watchmen Chapter 1 movie, and let me put this in perspective before I actually get into the video itself. Watchmen has been adapted twice, one for the big screen, one for the small screen, and now it's going to get its own form and animation, but a couple months ago, we got the teaser for it. And yes, from what I said before, I want to restate this now. It looks a bit more like the style of X-Men 97, and now they're going back to hand-drawn. It doesn't look like the DC Tomorrowverse or anything like what they're doing on their Crisis on Infinite Earth story. But for the most part, I'm actually kind of excited for this because, yeah, we've seen The Watchmen done twice. Not really, because we've seen Zack Snyder's version, which is the definitive version of the movie, and the TV series, which is a sequel to the comic book itself, but not the Zack Snyder version. But with this, we're going to see the whole story full unfold in animation. Yes, I know there's going to be some visuals that look like they're going to be adapting some of Zack Snyder's stuff, but you got to remember Zack Snyder adapted everything from the comic book from Alan Moore exactly to a point where, yeah, visually it looks like a comic book come to life. But for the movie side of things, I'm like, yeah, the movie was fine, but visuals aside, it's okay. It's not the best adaptation of The Watchmen, but hopefully with the animation, it'll actually come fruition. All right, guys, let's get to the trailer. In animation.
October 13th, 1985. On Friday night, a comedian died in New York.
Huh. I'd say a bit more. This looks more
Somebody knows why. These days,
like a
nobody
mix of
say.
What If
The comedian
and
insisted.
X-Men
Why?
97.
You're supposed to be the world's smartest man, fight. It was active for 40 years and make a lot of enemies in that time.
Blake was a monster.
We're society's only protection.
Protection from who?
From themselves.
Who killed Edward Blake?
Oh, we're
Maybe this
that
is
scene is
about
actually being in this.
Maybe someone's picking off costumed heroes.
I thought I knew how the world was, but then I found out about this gag. I never should have gotten involved.
It doesn't fit. Waiting for a flash of enlightenment.
Oh, we're seeing Blue Dick on the screen again.
World grows
In animation
around
form
me,
this time.
but am I shaping it?
I want to know who's behind this! It's a joke, but I don't get it!
Every day, the future looks a little bit darker. But the past keeps getting brighter all the time.
It is too late. Always has been. Always will be.
Who's behind this? I don't know! Not convincing.
I don't know!
There is good and there is evil, and evil must be punished. Even in the face of Armageddon. I shall not compromise on this.
Oh wait, so it's out now? I think it is out now. I might have to fact check whether or not it says look for it on digital, because whenever they put out one of these trailers, DC always makes it a thing where, yeah, go look for it now, but doesn't give a release date, but until you find out later when it comes out. But let me get to the main point of the video, because I'm gonna really go check out if it's now. Because if it's on now, I gotta watch it. Yeah, visuals aside, I gotta say, it's funny the way that we know what the movie is. We've seen the movie, we know every bits and cues of what the movie's gonna lead to. But in this, it's kind of cool in the fact that they're using the animation style to better visualize some of the story elements and actually put the characters in their common accurate costumes. Because, yeah, you could say that Zack Snyder did his thing where some of the costumes on the live action characters, like Night Owl, Silk Spectre, they're the ones that are I feel like, okay, they look like the costumes, but pure latex in an actual suit that looks like the current bat suit in Justice League. It's fine because, yeah, Night Owl was supposed to be almost looking like Batman, but not really Batman because he's supposed to be brown and almost look like an owl. I kind of do like how they're sticking with the colors on the suits for once, but also the fact that it looks like we're going to get a bit more of the story. Like in the comic, we're going to get some Rorschach interrogations. We're going to get him roaming around the city, Rorschach's journal and all that. Even the fact that Dr. Manhattan's story, I don't think it's going to be as pivotal as in this part, because I feel like I know it's chapter 1. I feel like everything from what I'm seeing in these trailers, because there's going to be a second continuation, because we already said chapter 1 and chapter 2. From what it looks like we're going to get the beginning of the story, from everything from Eddie Blake's death to possibly when I feel like it has to be on Mars. All of it has to end on Mars, I feel like. Spoilers for the Watchmen movie and the comic, and I feel like you have to be at least old enough to have seen one of the two. But at a certain point in the story, Dr. Manhattan is actually put on, not trial, but he's being interviewed by people saying, "Oh, are the Watchmen still out there? Are people still safe with you being on Earth?" And people didn't realize that, oh, all the people he interacted with all had cancer. And yes, it was all a plan from Dr. Ozymandias. But you got to remember that at that pivotal point, you see Dr. Manhattan look at his wife, his ex-wife, and you see that she has cancer, and he's like, "Okay, everybody stop, leave me alone." And he gets to that iconic "I said leave me alone" scene. And then he just goes up on Mars and he just leaves Earth. I don't know if it's gonna end exactly right there, but from everything I'm seeing in these trailers, yeah, we see Rorschach run from the police and actually get arrested. But I feel like at a certain point, I feel like that's gonna be the concluding end of the story for this section anyway. But for what I can tell, this whole trailer, I'm kind of excited for. Yes, it's not 2D animated to a exact, but yeah, everything is not going to be 2D as it was back in the day. I know I wish it could have been cool to see a version of the story in the actual 90s styling, like what X-Men 97 tried to do, even though we know it's current day with computers. But something like the Spawn anime series that they actually had on HBO, and since HBO Max needs a streaming show and most of their stuff is gone, just saying, who knows? They might. I could want them to bring back a Spawn animated series, or at least one more season, at least finish off that story. Alright, you guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. All my social media is down in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.